few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340. WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Pretty pumped to be with you. It's Friday. Brian, did you watch any of it last night? I want the honest truth. Did you watch? Because I did tune in last night, and I got great joy out of seeing. Make no mistake about it, Patrick Mahomes and his obnoxious wife, and their little softball empire that they've invested in go up in flames of that Texas team. That was quite comical.
Yes.
Maybe
for 5 seconds just to see the score, and
yeah,
then went on to something else.
Oh, I watched it. They got bullied. Bullet the blue sky on the big stage. But the blue sky. Pretty pumped today.
Just like last year.
They got bullied.
Same thing.
All that money, all the Taylor panel, won't another
repeat.
money buy. God. It's pretty next level. Whoa, man. Bino, Jeff, great Friday to you.
Hi, guys. Hope everybody's well. Good to be here.
Bino, Jeff, let's start here. We were on the air yesterday when the news on Reynolds broke. And Brian said they put a wrap on him. And I thought it was I thought it was like saran wrap, Bino, but apparently it's not.
I believe that's aluminum foil, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm learning something new every day, Bino.
We should, Tony. We all should.
Question, Bino, for you. Because Throat said it. Do you feel kind of sorry for the Reynolds guy?
No, I don't think I feel sorry for him, Tony. That's a pretty close fraternity. He's a well thought of guy. He'll surface. But I thought it was a move that had to be made. It was the right move. It was made at the right time.
Yep.
And seemingly done the right way.
Yep. So
because the pitching staff regressed with every day that went by. So I don't think there was any other choice.
He had no choice
for Josh.
Yeah, he had no choice. And if you think about it, because one thing we like to do is peel the onion back here, and in real time we were talking about it. There's no way in the world they made that move without telling those two frontline star stud would be tremendously valuable in the open market pitchers that, hey, this was transpiring. There's just no way, Bino, that's the case. So those kids knew they were going to do this, right? Beforehand. Those kids knew it. They had to have known it, right?
Yeah, I don't know, Tony, but I would tend to agree with you there that they told them. Now, I don't think there's any way they could tell them who the guy was going to be that they're replacing.
Yeah.
Unless they just kept it totally under wraps. Yeah, I would guess that they told them, hey, we're going in a new direction here. And at least gave them that much information to make to make their decision.
I'm going out today when I sit in the park and play music. Thinking about going to the Smokies tonight with the Famiglia, but if I don't do that, I'll go sit in the park. Hey, it's an awesome day to see the Smokies all weekend. They're home. They've got incredible stuff going on all weekend. And they roll out the red carpet for you. The downtown will be popping tonight. It's really, 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 really a wonderful thing to get out and stretch your feet out and enjoy the ball game. We have to recalibrate now, Bino. Orange Throat talked about it today. We're going to talk with Hughie about this. I see where Florida's crowing about how they're doing in high school recruiting. And to the Tennessee fan, for the first time in their adult lifetime, they're going to sit this one out. I believe the Vols, I believe what the Throat wrote today is right. I believe that, and sometimes the Throat and I will disagree. For those of you that are uninitiated, our blog over at tclub.team, great way to follow the show. We have our UT Insider, Orange Throat, writes on Mondays and Fridays, and he's an insider, trust me. When you read him down through the years, you'll know. He said there's a move afoot at the University of Tennessee where they've decided to shift their focus. And so watch for it. Wait for it. They're not going to be as immersed in high school recruiting as they've been. They're going to take a large proportion of their budget, target people in the transfer portal early in the process this time around, not like they've done in recent years and gone in there sleepy and dopey. They're actually going to target these people like in the month of September or even now, going through the rosters of who has what, who projects to get into the portal, and have a plan. But as a fan, it's going to be totally different for us because now you're going to get to see Florida crow about how they're doing in high school recruiting and Georgia crow about how they're doing in high school recruiting. Now, I say all this against the backdrop that Tennessee has a guy on campus this weekend. I don't want to say they have to get him. You don't have to get any particular football player. But, man, it would be a big shot in the arm. And the Throat writes about him today. But it would be a big shot in the arm to land DGG, who's in Chattanooga right now at a boarding school by way of Canada. The thing is, though, that this Tennessee team, Danny White's gotten the memo. They've decided to make a change. They are going to go with somebody. What's the thing that I quoted today, the slogan of the coach at Indiana?
Production over potential.
Thank you. Might be the greatest thing ever said, Bino. The Red Sox just sent their bonus baby rookie back down to AAA for some more season because they need production over potential, Bino. I think that's the way it is at all sports. Production over potential.
Yeah, I agree, Tony. You know, for a long time, I thought that the right thing to do was continue to build your program through high school recruiting and supplement it through the portal.
Yep.
I no longer believe that. I believe there are only a handful of schools that can continue to do it that way. Georgia, Ohio State, if you were rolling like Alabama was rolling under Saban, I think for most schools now, it's flipped, and you try to get the very best high school player you can get, or players you can get, guys that can contribute in year one. And like you said in the blog today, you go with some 3-star developmental guys that will stay with you long enough to be developed, and the rest of it, you pound that portal.
Yep. That's it. Because if they don't do it, this guy's not going to make it. Pretty simple. And I think that's what they're set to do. But as fans, it's going to be really hard for our fan base. Look, dating back to when Herschel Walker first joined Georgia and had that huge impact 44 years ago, okay? This entire apparatus, the entire industry of college football recruiting was born. And hundreds of millions of dollars were made from college football fans that want to know. And now there's not much to know. People I never thought I would hear say, you know, I don't even follow it anymore. People like Sean Sinclair. And, you know, at the end of the day, first of all, it's too cumbersome to follow. Secondly, when you're at a place like this and you're not Georgia and you're not Ohio State, where you can stack 4- and 5-star players. Look, if you're at LSU, if you're at LSU, Georgia, and you can stack 4- and 5-star players, you can do that. Go for it. Tennessee's never been in that position. And in that, it's against that backdrop that you have to be nimble. You better be able to evaluate. You better be able to understand and leverage who you are against all those forces and factors. And Bino's exactly right. You give this GGG guy, give him the bag, man. The bag plus. A home run hitter at that position in this offense, we haven't seen it. We've seen some nice players. But a really elite guy, an Ohio State level back, I'm talking about a high-end level player. A guy you know, that DGG guy will walk right on the field in 2027 and he'll be able to dribble, he'll be able to shoot, and he'll be the man. Just like Sedale 3 back in the day. So, poor Weston Hayes, Bino. Hey, Bri, your boy Easton, he comes in here in 2 seconds, and he's already in a 30-minute timeout for conduct detrimental to the team, Bri. What do you think of that clown, Bri?
I think it's sort of a purposeful thing with him. I don't think he cares.
I think he's a moron. We come back on the other side. And by the way, I want to shout out my man Gary Sturr, Mortgage Investors Group. The guy's absolutely next level. He's going to sponsor our summer look through hoops all summer long. We'll be doing some video stuff and some other various breakout content on the blog as well, as we attempt to put the basketball team together this summer. We're going to follow that in all we do. We come back on the other side. The ghost of Dr. Z is asking to free Weston Hayes. Yeah, poor Dr. Z DDS. Now, he got permanently detonated, Bino. You don't think he urinated me off during one of the baseball post-game shows, do you, Bino?
Permanent? He got a permanent suspension?
Permanent. He was chewing on me over some issue related not to the baseball deal, and it was the middle of the afternoon, and I was pissed off and surly, and the Vols had just made like 9 errors, and I just detonated him. I was like, I'm sick of this guy. He's irretrievable at this point. On the other side, Huguenin will join. There are some football odds out. We'll talk about that. This recalibration of what's going on. And then the head coach of Texas continues to act like a nut. Is Texas gettable, Bino? Why is this guy at Texas acting like a nut?
He needs to be in timeout with Weston Hayes.
Yeah, I don't know, Tony. I don't know what. May have to send him some of those red honey pills or something. I don't know what's eating at him.
So we'll bring in the great Mike Huguenin. We're going to do it all on the other side. It's an absolutely beautiful thing with you, ladies and gentlemen, on a fabulous, fantastic Friday. Please hold the calls. Ben McKee coming up in hour 2. We'll talk about this move, if the players were apprised of it, or if it came out of left field. What is Josh Elander's plan? We continue with more right after this.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Nothing reminds you of how much you rely on your air conditioner like the first really hot day in East Tennessee. Schedule Pipe Wrench Home Services' $79 seasonal tune-up now before the heat sets in. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune your HVAC system to help it run efficiently and reliably while reducing the risk of breakdowns when you need it most. And while we're there, we can also recommend ways to improve your indoor air quality for cleaner, healthier air throughout your home. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. And with their same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when comfort matters most. Schedule your $79 seasonal tune-up today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer valid on standard systems only. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside. So get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
You're going to bow your head, ladies and gentlemen. Bow thy head as I welcome you back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm going to tell you right now, nobody does it better, as the great Carly Simon once said, which is, I'm sure, a tune that my man Mike Huguenin loves. I think she did that for Goldfinger. Hughie, are you a Carly Simon fan back in the day?
No, and I think she did it for the Spy Who Loved Me.
Oh, The Spy Who Loved Me. How about you knowing that?
I'm a big James Bond guy.
Okay, what's the best James Bond theme ever? For Your Eyes Only, Sheena Easton, another one of your favorite songs?
No, Goldfinger by Shirley Bassey. That is.
Oh, Shirley Bassey, yes.
So.
You got credibility, man.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
The great Mike Huguenin, presented by our friends. Say, know it, write it down. Guffon Moving and Storage. Great Tom Guffon, who is an absolute legend. It's a fourth generation family dating back to the late 1800s here. They've moved thousands and thousands of families down through the years, here, there, and everywhere. And you can trust Guffon Moving and Storage. Higgy, without further ado, I've got some numbers here. I want to kick them around for me, you, and Brian. And if we had a bet right now, I want to first introduce the line. I want you guys to tell me if it sounds about right, too high, too low. Brian, what was the old thing? We too low? Is that right, Brian? We too low?
We, W-I-T-U-L-O.
We too low.
We too low.
All right, here we go. Bino, are you dialed in on this? Are you ready, Bino, for today's task at hand?
I am, Tony.
All right, I want to make sure.
Standing by, ready.
I want to make sure we're all on the same page on this early June day. Hugh, does it feel like June to you, man?
No, it's hard to believe that the year is almost half over. I mean, good God. So, which means that, college teams start camp in late July.
Yeah.
Between July 29 and 31.
Yep.
So we're only like 7 weeks away from college football camps being open.
7 weeks away. We're like 5 months away from when this Coleman kid, Tennessee's alleged defensive end, who's really not, his last touch to wait. Anyway. All right, so this courtesy, these are point spreads, courtesy DraftKings. Here we go. Texas at Tennessee late in the, these are lines that have been published. Texas at Tennessee late September. Arch Manning, the entire gang, the entire show. By the way, the fifth highest priced college football game right now. If you want to get into that game, it's going to be around $600, allegedly. But the line is Texas -7. Hughie, I start with you. Are you surprised by the line?
-7 on the road. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to obviously change, but
yep.
I think if you're a Tennessee fan, you're thinking that I'll take the 7 points. Texas fans, I would think, would be a little bit leery because yes, Manning played well at the end of last season. He started poorly, played abysmal football when they were on the road last year at Florida, and that was in October. So that's an interesting that's a little bit higher than I thought. Obviously, I think you got Arch Manning versus TBA at quarterback,
yep,
and that's the reason it's so high. But That seems a little bit too high for me.
Something feels wrong with that. Brian, your thoughts on that line?
Well, I think it might be lower by the time the game's played. Keep in mind, it can go up or down depending on how the teams look. If Faison comes in and looks like he might be a pretty good player, maybe the line goes down somewhat. If Texas struggles in their first couple games or doesn't look very good.
What about if the Vols struggle with Tex, Brian? We're back to being like Texas being like a 10-point favorite in our building.
Well, I think I think that could happen, but I think that sounds a little bit high for a game in Neyland Stadium.
Yeah.
It's going to be you're sure the crowd's going to be jacked up for sure. So I would probably think it'd be around 4 or 5 at the most.
What do you think, Bino? Texas' first ever trip to Neyland Stadium, a game you've had circled for your entire life. You didn't know whether we'd ever see this.
Yeah, basically since January 1st of 1969, Tony. I think that's what makes this so interesting is it's a couple of programs that have a long record of historical success that have just had very little play between each other. So, I'm there's no way I would lay 10 points.
How about
Tennessee
7
at home?
How about
I
7
think
points?
they stay within that number.
7 points, Bino.
That'd be much closer than 10. But I think anything a touchdown or more, I would play Tennessee.
Moving along, Hughie, who would you play? If I made you play,
That's Texas's first road game of the season.
that's correct. But they also have Ohio State first, and Ohio State pulled the air out of them last year, Hughie, if you'll remember.
Right. So that's I think any team's first road game. If they're 3-0 and riding high, it's like, okay, we're great. Then you go on the road.
Yep.
So there's a place, and then if they struggled, the same thing. Oh my God, we struggled. We've only had home games, and here we are going on the road. So the fact that it's a tough first road game, I think means something as well. Another reason I think 7 is too high.
The Vols are going to be way oiled up for that game. I mean, the crowd in that place will be crazy. Doesn't matter when that game's played. You play the game 9:00 in the morning, and that will be an incredible atmosphere.
Heupel won't want to lose to Texas. He's going to do all he can in that game, I bet you.
That's right. With his Oklahoma
next OU
roots.
quarterback.
That's right.
Yeah, the question's going to be, does Tennessee have a quarterback that's prepared to play in a game of that magnitude at that point in the season?
Because the truth is, guys, you could get whacked in that game if your freshman quarterback's not ready to play, or if GMAC's not ready to play either. You could get whacked in that game pretty easily. So I guess by that point, we'll know. I'm with Yuki. I don't think that number will stay at that number, to Brian's point. I think that Vegas, because they're constantly adjusting these things. So those of you that are bullish on this game, get it now. Get it while it's hot. Moving along. For the rest of us, it's just something kind of fun to look at. And some of these numbers are a little surprising. Alabama at home. New quarterback. What's a running game like? What's the overall talent on Alabama's football team like? They feel like a program, obviously, since the Saban years that have slipped, but they're still among the elite of college football. Hughie, do you expect Alabama to be a playoff team this year in the 12-team format?
No.
I agree with that.
I think the question, here we are, like you mentioned, we're already in June.
Yep.
Alabama, I think, underachieved a little bit last year. Why? Presumably the running game will be better because it can't be worse. The quarterback situation is a question. And you also wonder, do they have a dominant defensive player at any level. In the Saban days, they'd have either one of the best corners or one of the best safeties in the country. They'd have one of the best linebackers in the country.
Yep.
And they'd have one of the best edge rushers in the country and a top 10 defensive tackle. So you had to prepare for a stud at every single level. I'm not sure they're going to have even one guy that truly stands out at each level of their defense. Their schedule is a cakewalk early. I'm looking right now. They play the first 5 games: East Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State, South Carolina, Mississippi State.
Totally embarrassing.
5-0. Then Georgia at home, Tennessee on the road, Texas A&M at home. So that stretch in October, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas A&M will let us know if they're a playoff team, and I don't think they will be.
So the bill might come due on them.
They got Vandy late and Chattanooga late, so they're gonna have 7 wins automatically.
Yep.
I'm not sure they get to 10 though.
The numbers I'm looking at here are indicative of an SEC that's tightened up in a sense, but let's move along. So Alabama, in our building, Bino, is a 1.5-point favorite. Are you surprised by that, Bino Jeff? Everything Hughie just said about Alabama, I think they've slipped. I agree with Hughie. I can't figure out what they're doing with that contract for this coach that looks like he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, I know he's a good coach, but time and place matter. And it feels like he's an out-of-time guy in this spot, at least to me anyway. I do think he's a hell of a coach, Beanstar?
Yeah, it does feel that way, Tony. But no, I don't think. I mean, if you're putting lines out there trying to get equal play on both sides, I don't think you can do anything but have Alabama be kind of a small favorite.
Yugi,
because regardless if you believe that they're kind of out of sorts, right now they appear to be, until we figure out our quarterback situation, they appear to be more fortified than we are. I know they've got a quarterback situation as well, but still, I don't think Tennessee could be the favorite in that game and it be anywhere close to equal betting.
They have a second-year 5-star player. Tennessee's got a first-year 5-star player. Neither have really been seen. Huguenin, what's your sense of this? You presented by Gufon Moving and Storage. Alabama minus 1.5 at Tennessee.
It's interesting to me that there's a 5.5-point difference with the Texas line and the Alabama line.
Yes, it is.
In Knoxville. And that's, I think, all because of Arch Manning, the established quarterback. But obviously, this game will not be 1.5 when it's played. But yeah, I think Alabama still getting the benefit of the doubt from the residue, so to speak, of the Saban years. I agree with Deborah. I have no idea why they felt the need to extend him. This is, you got athletic. This is what irritates me about ADs. You got ADs moaning and whining about cost, and you give a guy who went 9-3
average
a contract extension in Alabama.
Yeah, that's an average job.
That to me is stupid. I agree. I think DeBoer's a really good coach.
Yep.
I understand why Alabama's favored. I think Alabama on paper is a better team than Tennessee, even though I mentioned before about the lack of star power at Alabama. I still think they got really good players. But the DeBoer contract extension, when you talk about 20 weird things of the offseason, that's one of the 20 for me. I don't understand that.
Weird. Brian, your thoughts? 1.5 Bama at Tennessee. Are you surprised by that number, Bry?
Yeah, Tennessee's won the last 2 against Bama and Neyland. Saban's not there no more. And I would have thought this line would be pick 'em, maybe Tennessee slightly 1-point favorite, maybe at least.
Hughie, from the church of the perpetually overrated, the Texas A&M, we've marveled at the Aggies down through the years. They are perpetually overrated. 9.5 points is the line in that game as Tennessee goes to College Station, a return to the scene of one of Butch Jones's great crimes, where in overtime The Vols are lining up to kick an extra point, and they have a stacked and packed backfield. Brian, Alvin Kamara is on that team, yes?
Yeah, he had 7,000 yards in that game.
Hey, Hughie?
It seemed.
Hey, Hughie? So A&M jumps off sides in the game. The Vols could put the ball on the 1 yard line and run a play, pitch it out to Alvin Kamara. They elect to take the penalty and kick the extra point from the 1 foot line to tie it, to send it to another overtime period. One of Butch Jones, just showing you that Butch Jones had the testicular fortitude of a eunuch. Moving along, Hughie, in your humble opinion, Texas A&M 9.5 with Tennessee. Is that a surprising number?
That seems a little bit high because it is Texas A&M. Now, at the same point, that is late in the season, and maybe Vegas and the odds makers are figuring that Tennessee is sort of limping home, and that A&M is strong. The A&M schedule isn't overly taxing, but that seems a little bit high to me. 9.5. At this point, I would, that's high. I think A&M is going to be pretty solid.
Yeah.
But I don't. I got questions about their defense. I got questions about their physical toughness.
Yeah.
I got questions about the running game.
Let's move along here. I think that's proper. Bino, are you surprised with the number 9.5 for us on the road at A&M?
Yeah, that seems high to me, Tony. And I'm certainly hoping when the game gets close that that's not what it is week of the game.
Yeah, because
when they know more about both teams.
Yeah, and the one thing about these numbers and these power ratings is that in this transfer portal era, we've seen teams have their power ratings adjusted. I mean, 10, 14, 16 points. There have been years where, they've had to really adjust teams on the fly because in these rosters, first of all, you don't know who's going to quit playing once they get paid. You don't know who's going to check in or check out. You don't know who's really improved. You don't know if there's a star or two that were laying in wait, waiting for their turn to shine like the sun in the middle of the day. All these factors come into play, and it makes it I think in the transfer portal era, Hughie, in a lot of ways, college football is a more maddening product. But the first 6 weeks of the season feel like each week is a new season. And my saying is you got to trust your eyes when you're watching college football that first month of the year because your eyes won't lie to you.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think this was the first time there hasn't been a spring transfer period. So I think coaches are pleased with that because they basically, they think they know what they have out of spring ball. Okay, we're not getting anybody new. Nobody's leaving. Unless somebody gets hurt over the summer and, in training or gets hurt during preseason camp. But I think that coaches are more comfortable with their teams at this point now than they were at this point in either of the last 3 seasons. So, but you still don't know what happens when the opposing team gets on the field. Is the opposing team better than you thought? Is there a quarterback who comes out of nowhere and becomes a star in one of those early season games, even if you are playing a group of 5 opponent? I think the first couple weeks of a season in the transfer portal period are, they used to say you make your biggest jump between the first and second week. I think that has changed.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you really know what you have until the first month of the season's over. Just because your point is right. I mean, you go through spring practice with 3 transfers in the starting offensive line. Okay, they sure look good in spring. Like you said, what happens in the fall, a little bit of adversity. I'm getting paid. I got my money. I don't care.
Yep.
It is, I think, a lot different now than it was even 5 or 6 years ago.
A lot of what we thought we knew about the sport, Bino, has completely changed. That first game to second game deal, I think it takes these teams now a month of playing together, especially when you don't hit in the preseason like you once did. It takes these teams a good month of playing together, Bino, to become cohesive units in many cases.
Yeah, it does, Tony. The off season and just the lack of guardrails of it make it maddening, as you call it, to follow, especially in the off season.
Yeah.
But the product itself is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's brought a whole lot more parity to college football than we've ever seen before. And I don't think the likes of Indiana winning national championships is going to be as rare now as it has been.
That was 1,000% impossible under the old system in Indiana winning a national championship. That was a no way, Jose, under the old system. Under the new system, there could be in Indiana. There could be 5 national champions in a row that are different programs. That could happen, and I don't see why it couldn't happen. It probably should happen, truthfully.
Cignetti is a fantastic football coach. What he did there is, other than Major's turnaround at Pittsburgh, there's nothing in my lifetime that even compares to it, even comes close. But he couldn't have done it under the old system. No way, no how.
And that Majors did it in the old system is crazy, like kind of like Bill Snyder in Kansas State.
Well, even Majors in the old system won the old system because he signed like 100 football players.
Well, that's true.
Right. And I don't think some of those guys went there out of the goodness of their hearts.
Oh, we know that. Yeah, sure. But here's the thing. The thing that's really interesting to me is that Paterno, because I lived in the state back then, Paterno loved Johnny Majors. Those two guys loved each other. But he had no time for Jackie Sherrill. Moving along. So, Tennessee, LSU comes to town, Hughie. What would you think the number in that game is? Lane Kiffin and his all-star team. It's his pickup football team.
LSU by 6.
1.5, Hughie.
Whoa.
Isn't that curious?
Yes, it is. And that's fascinating to me. Maybe, I don't know. That's extremely interesting. I guess the Sam Levitt, how healthy will he be? But I will say this: let's put it this way, if at game time LSU is only a 1.5 point favorite, you're going to have a lot of ticked off LSU fans saying that Kiffin is overpaid. He should be better than this. Because I think you talk to LSU fans, we're in the playoff. If we don't get to the semifinals, it'll be a shock. So that's an interesting spread. That's the most interesting one so far.
Bino, are you surprised by that? LSU's all-star team, their pickup football team, the quarterback they bought off the tarmac here in Knoxville, 1.5, Bino.
No, Tony, I'm not terribly surprised by that. Before we know what either team has for sure, I guess if I had to go one way or another, I'd say I would think that would be a little low. I would think that they would be a field goal or more favorite here. But I'm not terribly surprised.
Hughie Vols Deep is coming in with a hot take here over on our YouTube page. Says that LSU is going to get absolutely ambushed and blown out by 30 in Oxford. Hughie, I will say this. That's going to be one incredible scene in college football this year.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's going to be there's a lot of nastiness in SEC football game. This one has the potential to be the nastiest maybe ever. It is going to be, I don't think I want to be Lane Kiffin. I don't think I want to be LSU. The fans will be out for blood.
Yep.
Presumably some of the players on Ole Miss will be out for blood.
Yes.
Trinidad Chambliss versus Sam Levitt, if both are healthy, that's a phenomenal matchup. But you're going to have people literally frothing at the mouth among the Ole Miss fans. I think if you walked around the stadium before the game, you would be able to find people who would be literally frothing.
It would not surprise me if LSU, if Ole Miss fans show up and start rocking their bus.
Yeah, it's going
like they used to back in the day when fans would rock those buses back and forth. What happens if a bus falls on you while you're rocking it? I guess people have never really thought about that, but
you don't have the thought capacity to think about that. So I also wonder, Kiffin has already poked the bear.
Yep.
With the comments about the Ole Miss academics and the Ole Miss
culture,
how hard it is to recruit black athletes.
Yep.
Will he be his usual bombastic self that week on the SEC teleconference, or will he become meek and not want to rile fans up? I think that Kiffin being Kiffin will say something either after the preceding week's game or during the SEC coach teleconference that throws more fuel on the fire. So just because that's who Kiffin is. So that, the atmosphere there. And if that's a night game, my God.
Hey, Bino, somebody ought to bring a sleeve of orange golf balls and hurl them at him in honor of our game with him when he had one of his trainers throw a golf ball at him.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they'll come up with their own thing there in Oxford.
I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? At any rate, final line. I want you to. We got two probably freshman quarterbacks in the game. The Curtis kid at Vanderbilt. We have our own star stud and stallion quarterback who by then we'll know what we have in him, I do believe, in Faison Brandon. And probably what they have in the Curtis kid if he's still upright by then. What do you think that Tennessee Vanderbilt line is at the end of the year as the Vols go for revenge after getting absolutely stacked, packed, and whacked last year at the end of the season?
Vanderbilt by 1.
Tennessee's -3.
Wow, Vandy by 3. Interesting. And is everybody for certain that McIntyre's not going to be the quarterback?
Yeah, it's unless he has a great summer, he's not going to be the quarterback. How do I put this to you? You and I have always kept it real, right? He had a brutal spring.
Okay.
Like not, when you hear the stuff out of the camps and they say, well, maybe that the talk around him is he better get a whole lot better or he's going to get blown by in the summer. Now, we've seen guys, you can get better, but he had a really bad spring.
Year was so Pavia-centric.
Yep.
I think I think his act got a little bit tiresome.
Yes.
But I don't think anybody can deny that Vandy was good because of what Pavia brought in terms of intangibles and his on the field play. So him being gone, Eli Stowers was a phenomenal.
What an awesome player.
So Vandy needs a reboot on offense. Defensively, they had some issues last year, even though that's Clark Lee's side of the ball. That's Vanderbilt is one of the more interesting teams in the SEC this season. I think a lot of folks thought, okay, Clark Lee's got them back, and then they signed Curtis away from Georgia, which is, when you think about that for a second.
Yep.
5-star quarterback.
Yes.
Reneges on Georgia.
Yes.
And says, something? No, I'm going to stay and play at Vanderbilt.
Yes.
So Vandy's got some money out there, obviously. But that is one of the more intriguing storylines because I think a lot of folks think Vandy's going to sort of fade back into the mist. Let's see. But the idea that they signed Jared Curtis and took him away from Georgia late in the process is sort of staggering.
Bino, Jeff Henderson, it's a new world order. Battle of two freshman quarterbacks. We're filling a little time here in June, having some fun, just kind of thinking about the scene and what it's going to look like. Tennessee -3 at Vanderbilt. Beanstar, are you surprised by that? Where did Bino go? Did I lose Bino? Brian, are you surprised?
I'm here,
by
Tony.
That?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit surprised by it, Tony. But I think these early season lines are all about history and how the general public bets, which is the same reason that Alabama is a short favorite right now at Tennessee, and Tennessee's a short favorite at Vandy.
Psychology, basically.
Just, I think all of these early season lines, before they know who you are based on history and how the public generally bets.
Hughie, in your alleged opinion, how good is this Stowers going to be? Because my Eagles are the gold standard. That is a phenomenal second-round pick for them. A have organization like him adding Eli Stowers.
Went to Texas A&M out of high school as a quarterback. He's freakishly athletic. Can do some. I think he'll be a big-time weapon near the goal line, because I think you can do a lot of. You can line him up in the backfield. That's a nice pick. He's certainly a lot younger than the other tight ends there. He can get down the field. He's got good speed for a big guy. I think Eli Stowers is going to be a really solid pro tight end. I don't think he's going to be a 60 catch guy, but I think he can be a 45 or 50 catch guy with 7 or 8 touchdowns. And I think he gives you a sort of jack of all trades weapon near the goal line too, because of his athleticism, his skill set. That's a great pick.
By the way, I'm being told here that the LSU at Ole Miss is a 7:30 Eastern time start. Fire it up, focus it, and prepare it. That is going to be wild.
How many Ole Miss fans who normally get there at like 7 o'clock in the Grove are even going to be able to stand up by the time kickoff arrives?
How many things are they going to be throwing at Kiffin, Bino? This guy has so brought it on himself. The weirdest thing is somehow Ole Miss has become relevant in this era. I can't figure that out. But you got the guy at Texas talking about him. You've got obviously this whole thing about this deal. And somehow Ole Miss made the playoffs last year, Bino, and won and looked pretty good. Almost got to the national championship game, Bean. Start proving that anybody can do this, Bino.
Tony, I all his antics, craziness, he's an easy guy to dislike if he's not your guy, but he's a good football coach. And I still believe there's some method to his madness. I think he takes a lot of pressure off of his football team and puts it directly on himself. Now, he loves the attention. Don't get it wrong. That's the main thing for him. But the offshoot of that is his football team can go out there and perform. They're always going to have a good roster, and he's going to have more pressure on him than they have on him.
I think he's an excellent coach. I've often maintained that him at a place like this in this era would be very, 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 very dangerous. I respect him as a coach. I think he's eternally weird. I think he's got this strange thing about when he's out in front of people, he's painfully shy. But, man, when you put that keyboard in his hand and you put that phone in his hand late at night and he starts sparring with people, that's a different guy right there that comes out. And, hey, you got to say this for a guy. Guy's got some guts. When the guy wanted that quarterback from Arizona State and came to the tarmac in Knoxville, Hughie, and took him, I mean, that's pretty gutsy. A lot of head coaches aren't flying to the tarmac in the city where a kid is and pulling them off the tarmac to negotiate with the guy's agent brother.
Yeah, and I think I don't think anybody does. He's a really good football coach. I think, though, that he at times gets in his own head and needs to prove that I am as great as people say I am. And he seemingly does 2 or 3 bonehead things every single season. Sometimes it costs them a game. A couple of years ago, Florida, they lost to a Florida team they had no business losing to because he got too cutesy around the goal line. And you're right, though. Last year, think about if Kiffin had stayed at Ole Miss, I think it would have been Ole Miss, Indiana for the national title. Because I don't think that highly of Pete Golding. I know that the White State and all that kind of stuff. I still think if Kiffin had been there prepping Ole Miss, they would have got to the title game. An Indiana Ole Miss title game would have been all the proof you needed that this ain't your dad's college football.
That's
or
right.
even college football 5 years ago. But Kiffin at LSU, they're obviously willing to spend a ton of money. It's going to be, and if it fails, it's train wreck failure. It's going to be epic. If it succeeds, it's going to be pretty spectacular for LSU fans. But then again, I mean, they've won a lot of national titles. They've won 3 national titles this century with three different coaches. And 2 of them weren't really that good, or that smart. Let's put it that way. I think Kiffin is smart. He's got a great offensive mind.
Yep.
And at LSU, he has everything he needs to be an annual playoff team. If it's 12, if it's 16, or if it's 24, he should never miss.
Bow thy head when you say thy name, the great Mike Hugan, and we're breaking it down scientifically, moving right to left across your device and through your vertical hold. My name is Tony Basilio. Bino Jeff's here, along with Brian Hartman. It's a Friday, and now it's time for our Mover of the Week, presented by our friends at Gufon Moving and Storage. Hugie, hit it.
Sports scene. I'm gonna. The World Cup starts next week.
Yep.
And I'm not a soccer guy, but the World Cup is, to me, just incredibly awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that it's in the United States, sharing it with Canada and Mexico. A lot more stories have been written about FIFA. These people, FIFA, the NCAA is, they make your skin crawl. Yeah. FIFA is so far beyond that.
Yeah.
This has to be, frankly, the worst sports organization on earth. Far worse than even the International Olympic Committee, which is hard to beat. But FIFA, the ruling yesterday, they had said the heat's going to be brutal this summer at every site.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can bring in a water bottle that you can refill. Yesterday, no, you can't bring in a water bottle you can refill. You need to buy everything you drink at the state. It's just another way to suck up money. You got tickets going for there was a story in The Athletic today. One guy he lives in Atlanta. They quoted him. I guess Morocco was playing a World Cup game in Atlanta. The guy said, I live in Atlanta. I could fly to Morocco, get a week-long stay at a hotel, and watch the game on TV and spend less than I would paying for a ticket here in Atlanta.
That's face value, by the way. No, that's what. And by the way, they've been met with derision from the sporting public. A lot of these venues right now are going to be relatively empty.
They're not going to be full.
No. Yeah, and because FIFA's decided we're going to be the ones that set the price point.
Yeah.
We're going to be kind of like what they're doing in modern college football. We're going to be the ones that just gouge our fans, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I got a friend who is a ticket manager for a pro sports team.
Yeah.
In one of the Power Four league, in one of the Big Four pro leagues.
Yeah.
And he's not a hockey guy, so one of the 3. He says he's dealt with FIFA in the past. He said his quote was, "Unless you pay them to do something, they don't do it." He says that they are the biggest scam artists on earth.
Yep.
It's frankly pitiful. What they've done, and they don't care. They're rich, and Infantino. People don't like Sankey. They don't like Petitti. They don't like Charlie Baker. Those dudes are God compared to Infantino.
Well, and Sepp Blatter before him, Sepp Blatter was corrupt.
Was another guy who, talk about a guy's name who Sepp Blatter sounded like, well, this guy's a
villain.
And
like a villain.
Yeah.
Like a James,
yeah,
back to James Bond. James Bond villain. Sepp Blatter. There he is.
Yep.
Hughie, you're the man. Yep.
Yep.
You are the man,
so
Hughie.
Soccer itself will be awesome, so that's good, I guess.
Hughie, I love you. You're my man.
All right. Talk to you next week. Thank you, sir.
There he is, the great Mike Huguenin. I'll tell you, they've turned me off, man. The way they carry on and behave and the way they're gouging fans. I'm going to be in Philly at the end of the month when all that's going on. And they're playing a game over July 4th. I'm going to be in Philly or over the July 4th holiday. I got to tell you, I'm probably going to go to the site where the fans are so I can soak up some of the ambiance. I don't know that I'm going to go see a soccer game, and I love that sport. What do you think, Beanstar? Isn't that weird? But that's what they've done. That the business side of all this is just they're forcing all of us to make decisions now.
Yeah. It's what used to be an escape from a lot of things is not that anymore.
I mean, when they took that event and put it in Qatar, which is now back to being Qatar, now that Smart said and calling it Qatar anymore. Qatar is something that you spray on yourself when you don't want any bugs to get around you. Isn't that what Qatar is? Or is Qatar a weed killer?
Qatar is something that if thrown right, you're not going to hit it.
Butter is something you do to cookies.
We come back on the other side. Ben McKee joins. He makes a return engagement of 247. The guy flat out breaks it down and moves right to left. We're going to talk about what happened with Reynolds, him being deposed, how surprised Ben was, and then rebuilding this roster. What is Tennessee going to do as we continue with more on the other side? Hour 2 after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Tona B, inviting you to experience the Collins Insurance difference. And what's that? How about multiple top carriers that you can trust? Like Erie, they underwrite our entire Rainier studio and everything around it. Travelers, Hartford, Hanover, Progressive. We do what's right because we care. In today's technology-driven world, maintaining the human touch, Bruce Springsteen, is one of our main focuses. We deliver the best customer service humanly possible. We give you someone that you can actually call or sit in front of. Imagine that. No call centers here. Experience the Collins Insurance difference. Check them out at collinsinsuranceTN.com, and they're Mrs. B approved. Collins Insurance. TB with a few serious questions. You feeling tired, foggy, you gaining weight, or you just don't feel like yourself anymore? Hormone therapy is finally becoming mainstream, but it's truly something my man, Dr. Tom Rogers, has been doing for over 20 years. Dr. Rogers of Performance Medicine wants you to feel your best, and he treats both males and females. So, guys, we can do this as a family. At Performance Medicine, hormone therapy is personalized to you. If you're dealing with hot flashes or mood swings or low energy, decreased libido, fatigue, muscle loss, stubborn weight gain, it might be time to find out what your body really needs. No shame in this game. You can do something about all the above. Performance Medicine offers customized hormone treatment plans based on comprehensive lab testing with options like pellets, creams, patches, oral medications, and injections. The goal is simple. Help you feel like yourself again. Next level. Make your life better. Take it to the higher plane. Visit performancemedicine.net. Schedule your consultation today. You'll feel your best with Performance Medicine.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got 2 locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org, and both locations we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Got a plumbing or HVAC problem at home? Whether it's an AC that won't cool, a furnace acting up, a clogged drain, or a water heater problem, Pipe Wrench Home Services is ready to help. Right now, when you schedule any HVAC or plumbing repair, your service fee is waived with the completed repair. That means expert help fast without the extra cost just to show up. Our certified technicians will quickly diagnose the issue and provide reliable solutions to make your home comfortable again. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when help matters most. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. Schedule your repair today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Service fee waived with completed HVAC or plumbing repair. Restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. Like our 2026 football Vol, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times, 80 proof of vodka, delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka, T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you, because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. 32 years, that's as long as we've been on the air. That crazy. Without further ado, Ben McKee going to join. 247. He's on your Newsmaker hotline. And yesterday was about 24 hours ago. News breaks that Tennessee has let go of their pitching coach. And not only did they let go of their pitching coach, they put in a release, we let go of our pitching coach. None of this ambiguous language where it's, well, you know, we decided that we would have a mutual parting of the ways. No. We're going to put a big boy release out saying exactly what happened. We're going to word it the way we're going to word it. We're in a meritocracy, and we don't feel like our pitching coach merited coming back. And so here's Ben McKee joining us now. And Ben, long time no talk. It ain't because we don't love you, brother, because you know we got love. I was telling you off the air, man, that baseball season just got away from us, man.
I can't believe it whatsoever, and I appreciate you having me back on. It's good to hear your voice again and talk to you. I can't believe baseball season is over. I was telling you, this is the first weekend of June that I've had off from covering games since the COVID year. Hard to believe. I don't really know what to do with myself, but excited to watch all the super regionals, and Josh Elander and his coaching staff are keeping me quite busy anyways.
1 to 10 scale, level of surprise to you that they did what they did yesterday?
I'd say 4. I think the big thing was that Josh Elander actually pulled the trigger after year 1. I think a lot of people wondered if he would actually do it that quickly. And that's one thing you have to give credit for to Josh Elander, for better or worse. He's not afraid to make a decision on something and doesn't really wait around to make a decision. That's the old saying, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again. Josh Elander does not live by that motto. He's not afraid to make a decision if something isn't working. He's not going to allow a square peg to try and be fit into a round hole. Like, he's going to make a decision and run with it, whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision. So I think that is something we have learned about Josh Elander in his first year as head coach. So that was the only reason it was really a 4. It's just because you were kind of wondering if he would actually pull the trigger that quickly. But no doubt that a change in voice was probably needed. Now, I don't think Josh Reynolds was as bad as social media made him out to be. I don't know that he had a lot to work with this year. And I do know the players, the pitchers, they loved working with him. They're big fans of Josh Reynolds. So that's something Josh Elander will have to navigate with this change. But at the end of the day, the results were what they were. And I don't know that he was the best fit with Josh Elander's coaching staff. And Elander, that was Tony's pick to be Frank Anderson's replacement, not Elander's.
Oh yeah, and that's the point. It's now Elander's program, and he got to take the ball and run with it. And he served under Tony all those years. And look, when you serve with somebody, you're not going to behave the same way as they do. You're not going to have the same philosophies that they did. You're going to take some of it, obviously, that help make you successful. But you got to be your own man. When you get that opportunity. This seems like a step in that direction. Question for you. Do you believe they sat down with Landon Mack and Cam Appenzeller and said, hey, look, because they got him to come back pretty quickly, but I want you to know we're going to have a new pitching coach next year. You think they quietly told those kids that before they got them to go public that they were coming back? Or do you think yesterday's news was a surprise to those two kids?
No, I think they knew before the news went public. I mean, I don't think Josh Elander is being a good head coach if he's not calling his current pitchers and his future pitchers. You got to call your signees and you got to call your current guys and let them know what's about to happen. I think that would be a bad move as a head coach to allow players to find out through the media or when you announce it through a press release. So I'm not sure when that conversation happened, but I do know that Landon Mack especially found out beforehand. And I don't know that Landon Mack was too happy about the move, if I'm being quite honest.
Wow.
I know he was a big fan. He was a big fan of Josh Reynolds.
Surprising.
And it was more about, like, I don't want to insinuate that he disagreed or anything. He was just a big fan of Josh Reynolds, and hurt for Josh Reynolds is probably the better way to put it. And you got to think what Mack has kind of gone through during his time at Tennessee because of Tony leaving. He came to play for Tony, Frank, and Q. And it was a kick in the gut when they left with 2 weeks left in the fall. And then he grew to love Josh Reynolds and Keegan Knoll, the new strength coach. And now kind of Reynolds is taken away from him. So, I mean, I think he's fine. Like, I don't expect him to go anywhere. But I'm more so speaking to, like, just how genuinely the players loved working with Josh Reynolds. And so those guys knew beforehand. And Elander's not making this decision without communicating that to them.
Do you think Elander was encouraged to make the change through Alyssa, who's the arm of Danny White?
Not on my radar. If that did happen, I just think that Josh Elander felt like this was the best decision for him and his program, and that the results were what they were next year. And although Reynolds maybe wasn't as bad as social media or the message boards make him out to be, and we can have a conversation about roster construction and how he didn't have much to work with. At the end of the day, there weren't very many pitchers who got better this year, and the results were what they were. So I think this was Elander's decision.
That had to be. I was talking to Matt Dixon about that. You guys, if tough to watch baseball was hazardous, I don't think any of you guys would be here right now. I'll tell you. When you have an extra inning game and you lose by double digits, Ben, now we've seen some crazy things around here during the time you've been covering that baseball deal. But that bullpen this year and some of the implosions they had, I mean, they invented ways to implode, did they not?
They did, and sorry I had a little audio issue
No,
there.
you're fine, man.
I was confused that my father-in-law was fixing the brakes on my car, and he started my car until my Bluetooth connected to my car. So
I've been there and done that, brother. And it's great. Hey, it's great to have a father-in-law that's under your car and fixing your brakes. That's great, man. Hey, shoot me that guy's number. I got a few odds and ends and issues for him.
Yeah,
but
he can fix it.
yeah.
But I did you hear anything I said? I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just asking you about you having to sit there and watch that stuff. I mean, that bullpen this year, that Vanderbilt game, halftime of that Texas game is the craziest thing I've ever seen. When they went grand slam, and then we're going to go ahead and add a solo to take the lead. I mean, or to win the game. I mean, you can't make that stuff up.
No, you can't. That's you literally can't make it up. That was my reaction watching it live, is that if you told me to outline awful ways to lose a baseball game, I don't think that I could even come up with this. It was just an absolute disaster. And in hindsight, it just really highlights just the lack of depth that the pitching staff had this year, that after your top 4 or 5 guys, there just weren't guys that you could go to that you could trust, whether that be because they were young and not ready for the moment, or because of missed evaluations in the portal last year. It was disastrous. It's hard to believe that happened.
It really is hard to believe. But you know what? And Matt was pointing this out to me. It didn't just happen here. It happened at LSU. It happened. Yeah. Vanderbilt had some injuries, but it happened there. It happened at Texas A&M, who got exposed, and they've spent a ton of money. I mean, it's happening all over the place at some of these power schools, which is why we saw some of these mid-major teams outlast some of these power teams, because when you get in these teams' bullpen, I mean, it's Katie bar the door. So a question for you is, how much of the pen do they hose out? How many of these guys, because I've seen a bunch of middle infielder and infield type reserve guys that have gotten basically processed so far. I haven't seen a lot of pitching names on the outgoing list so far. Is that by design, accidental? Is that coming, or do you think a bunch of these guys come back, Ben?
No, I think a lot of those guys are coming back, and I think that pairs with the decision of why you're partying with Josh Reynolds, is because you feel like you have talent in the program and you just weren't able to bring that talent out this year. Now, I don't know that that's totally on the surface fair to Josh Reynolds, because it was a lot of young talent that he was trying to work with, but they want to bring back a lot of those guys. I mean, multiple guys have already indicated that they are going to return. Nick Abraham, Jackson Estes, Chandler Day, Will Haas, multiple guys are wanting to come back and are coming back. In addition, we talked about Cameron Appenzeller and Landon Mack. They feel like there's a lot of talent on staff. And it felt like, to your point about some of those ugly games throughout the course of the year, it felt in the moment that, man, this pitching staff is going to have to be totally rebuilt, like strip everything down and rebuild it from the foundation. But when you kind of peel the curtain back, you see guys with a lot of potential. I mean, Jackson Estes was a guy who had Tommy John and redshirted this year, but he was up to 97 before he had surgery. Will Haas, he impressed in a couple of his outings as a freshman. Chandler Day, the same way. Ethan Beato has not signaled anything, but I haven't heard anything to indicate that he won't be back, and Beato was impressive as a freshman. Same thing with Taylor Tracy. Nick Abraham, he got better over the course of the season as he honed in on his command. So, I mean, those are 6, 7 guys that I just mentioned off the jump right there. And so it kind of felt in the moment like, okay, they're going to have to totally rebuild this thing. But really, you just need a renovation done because you already have quite a bit of talent in the room. Now it's a matter of, can we hire the right voice that is going to bring that talent out and develop those guys? And if they find the right voice to do so, and these guys do pitch to their potential, then they already have the makings before they've even added anybody. They already have the makings of one of the better staffs in the SEC, but it is going to take that developmental piece to it in order for them to get there.
Bino, Jeff, or Bry, anything for the great Ben McKee, who's with 247, covers the Vols, absolutely gets it done. No matter what he covers, he absolutely hammers and kills baseball. Bino, Jeff, or Bry, jump in.
I wondered if Elander knows who he's going to hire. Does he have somebody in mind? Does he have somebody in mind, or is he going to go through a list of prospective candidates.
Great question, Brian. We have one in the pocket here. Ben, what do you think?
I think that he has a guy in mind. Now, I don't know what that name is. He is, and the staff are keeping things very close to the vest this offseason. But I personally don't think you make this move when I mentioned that they've got several guys coming back that they're excited about.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that there aren't guys that they need to add. And kind of the names you hear associated with who they're targeting, the vast majority of them are pitchers. So I expect them to host multiple pitchers these next couple of weeks in order to land them. And you would like to have a pitching coach in place, I would imagine. So I think this was a measured decision. This isn't necessarily the time of year to make that type of move if you don't already have somebody in mind. And in my opinion, we see it in traditional football recruiting, basketball recruiting all the time, that the coaches leave after signing day. And if you didn't already have somebody in mind, I don't know why you would go ahead and pull that trigger right now when you're set to host a talented lefty this weekend and you've got other guys that you're trying to get to town to visit. It seems like you would want to have a pitching coach in place so they could help you recruit, obviously. So I think he has a couple of names in mind and has it narrowed down, and it's just a matter of when, not if.
Hey, Ben, are either of those guys have teams that are still alive in the playoffs?
I think that is certainly a possibility.
All right. Question for you in terms of a roster composition. It seems to me one thing that Tennessee and a lot of these programs are going to have to do with this 34 scholarship deal, they got to carry more pitchers, man. Everybody was short. Do you think Tennessee, when you think of the 34, how many of those guys will be pitchers next year, in your humble opinion?
18 or 19, somewhere there. I think it'll certainly shade towards the pitching staff when you break down the numbers between pitchers and position players. I certainly think the arrow will point in the direction of the pitchers. But I still think they kind of want to go the two-way route with a couple of guys just to have that added flexibility on the roster. I know it didn't really work out this year. Blaine Brown was not able to contribute on the pitching side, and then Taylor Tracy was not able to contribute in meaningful games. Evan Hankins, who tore his ACL before the Vanderbilt game when his cleats got stuck in the turf while taking ground balls. He was a two-way guy, but he's transferring. So I don't know that the two-way guys necessarily worked out this year, but I don't think that that's going to deter them from still trying to go down that route. They're hosting a two-way player from Mercer today, Braden Kersey, who is up for the National Two-Way Player of the Year award, which I didn't realize was a thing until yesterday, but he's one of 5 finalists for it. He hit 21 home runs as a designated hitter and hit over 300, and he was also Mercer's closer, had 6 saves. So hitter first, but a guy that can give you something out of the bullpen. He would be a heck of a pickup if Tennessee could land him. Again, he's visiting today. So I still think they're going to try and go that route, but I can certainly see them having 17, 18 pitchers in addition to their two-way players. But it also, that just speaks to the sport too. You can never have too much pitching, whether you're in the major leagues or not. You need pitching depth because injuries are going to happen, especially with how fragile the arm is and how unnatural it is for their throwing motion. Like, injuries are going to happen. You have to have pitching depth. So you can never have too much pitching. It's a premium position, but there's no doubt that Tennessee needs to somewhat overhaul that pitching staff this offseason.
Blaine Brown coming back? What do you think?
I think so. I haven't heard anything within the last couple of days, but going into the week, I was under the impression that he'll be back next year.
Levi Clark?
I believe so.
Yeah, he's kind of quiet, isn't he? Been kind of quiet here in his deal.
Yeah, I mean, that was the same thing as Blaine kind of leaving Chapel Hill. It sounded like he was going to be back, but just nothing. I haven't heard anything that has altered my opinion in the last couple of days. But going into the week, Blaine and Levi were believed to be coming back.
They need firm commitments from those guys pretty soon, though, right? Because they've got to know what they're going to do. I mean, everybody's got to know, right? That's sort of how this is.
Yeah, they certainly do. And I think they already have a good idea. But maybe they just haven't shared it publicly.
Yeah.
I am interested with Levi because I thought in the catcher's room maybe Stone Lawless might be the odd man out. But I reported this morning that he was going to be back. I'm sure y'all have already touched on Stone, indicating that he is coming back. I thought that he might be the odd man out with also Trent Grenlinger coming back. And so maybe that changes Levi's mind. But I think Levi already had an idea of that. And he also doesn't strike me as the type of young man that would let that deter him. He is a great teammate, great guy to have in the clubhouse. I think he would welcome the competition, quite frankly. And Levi really improved over at first base. I thought he did really well defensively over at first base. So he's got multiple positions he can play, even with Trent and Stone coming back. But I think catcher, I wouldn't look for them to add a catcher. I would be surprised at this point if they tried to add a catcher because I think they've got plenty there. Blaine, they probably would want a firm answer on if they don't already have one, because you need multiple outfielders with Reese Chapman moving on, with Jay Abernathy transferring, Garrett Wright's probably going to sign in the draft.
Yeah.
You need some outfielders. So finding or receiving a firm answer from Blaine, I certainly think that they would like.
Anything else you'd care to add? You've been unbelievable. It's been wonderful hanging out with you today, Ben, and many happy returns. Always a pleasure. And I know the great Jennifer Morris loves you. I love you. I find you to be the greatest, man, my friend.
Well, I can't be the greatest if you're the greatest. And Will Heflin is still riding his high of predicting UCLA's demise. So Will Heflin is currently the greatest. But if y'all haven't talked about it already, Chad Dallas gets my shout out for the day.
How about that,
Chad
man?
Dallas, what a story that is.
5 years to the day that Tennessee walked it off, where he got to start against Wright State in a game that'll never be forgotten by the living fan, makes his major league debut. That's very cool. That does not grow on trees, my brother. That's very cool.
No, it doesn't. Having to overcome Tommy John, his father passed from ALS last May. He receives the call on Lou Gehrig Day. That's no coincidence, my friend. You're a good man. On the way out, if folks want to follow you, how do they do so? And I appreciate you, my brother. They can find me at GoVols 24/7 or at Ben McKee 14 on Twitter for all sorts of Tennessee athletics coverage, because there is no such thing as an off season anymore. Oh God, it's unbelievable. Thank you, my brother. Thanks, Tony. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you, Bino. I remember back in the day, we would sit here in the off season and make a list, do this. There is no off season now, Beanstar. There is no off season. There's no off season.
No, there is not. The off season started in late March then.
Yeah, the off season. That's exactly right. Actually, for us with Tennessee basketball, Bino, the off season started in like February, because basketball was brutal back then. No offense to basketball. I mean, when I started, when I started doing this, Wade Houston was a coach. You think you think we had basketball? We were excited for March Madness back then?
No, I mean the off season started in December then.
Yeah. Here's something I think,
or after Tennessee's bowl game.
Here's something I found out here in the last 24 hours.
After the Florida football game.
I want to share with you, okay? The next pitching coach is not going to be Frank Anderson. Okay. I feel about 1,000% sure that's the case. So it is going to be interesting.
I mean, Tony, if he was even the candidate, wouldn't he have had to agree to just basically walk away from the Giants and come pretty much immediately?
That happened a couple years ago, as I think it was Taylor or Matt Dixon reminded me. It might have been Matt. Do you remember the guy, Brian, that left one of the professional organizations and what college they went to?
Left like the Twins or somebody.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It was the Twins.
He left the Twins.
It was and he went to LSU.
The end of July or end of what was it? June.
Same thing, end of June, just like right now.
He was like their real pitching coach too, right? He wasn't some consultant.
Yep. Woo! It's pretty next level. It is. It's absolutely next level.
Frank Anderson would be a shot in the arm to the fan base if they brought him back.
Not gonna happen. I'm managing,
complete shot in the arm. That would sell some tickets.
I'm managing expectations over here. He's got about as much chance of doing that as this Chaz Coleman guy does, is lining up at defensive end. for the season opener. Not happening. 1, not happening. Part 2. It's all right to dream, though.
If Frank Anderson wanted to be the pitching coach here, he should have kept his old hind in here this past offseason.
And Bino is, I checked on it yesterday. That's exactly how Josh Elander feels as we continue with more. Bino dropping a nugget right there on the way out. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Like our 2026 football Vol, score a T3TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times. 80 proof of vodka delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka, T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside. So get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got two locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org, and both locations we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
School is out, so let's kick off summer with your Knoxville Smokies. This week is a huge week for your Smokies. He's back. It's the king himself. It's Elvis night on Thursday. Get your herd together because it's Chick-fil-A night on Friday with post-game fireworks. Live wrestling and fireworks for wrestling night on Saturday and Sunday. It's our kids' summer kickoff. Yes, it's June 7th. 6-7. It's jam-packed, so get your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. Amanda Rich going to join us here momentarily. Before we do that, though, a couple of odds and ends, and then we'll get some calls in. Hey, Beanstar, Ben McKee wasn't going to come off that name, but I know who knows who the next pitching coach is.
Who you got, Tony?
It's the guy that really went to bat for Elander when the time came. It's a guy that basically built a stadium over here. You don't think Chris Burke knows? I know damn right well Chris Burke knows. Chris Burke knows. What are the chances Chris Burke knows and he's holding out on us, Brian?
I think 1,000% he knows 1,001%, but he won't tell you.
There's no question he knows. He knows. So if you're listening to us and you know Berkey and you want to know who that new pitching coach is, call Burke. I promise you he knows. I promise you he knows. Reach out to Berkey. Call Berkey, text Berkey. Basilio said and then come back to me. Come back. Is it the guy? I asked McKee. I said, Ben, is he in the tournament? He said he might be. Are the two guys in the tournament? Because Ben McKee's exactly right. Look, you're in the portal right now. You've got a great franchise-type pitcher coming in this weekend. You've got a two-way all-star coming in. You got to get this guy hired. I think we all agree on that, Beanstar, don't we? You got to get that guy hired.
Yeah, you would think, Tony, in this portal era that, and it's important that Tennessee bolster their staff.
Yep.
That those guys would want to know who their pitching coach is going to be.
Yep.
I would.
Shit. Are you surprised, Bino, they're bringing a lot of those stiffs back? I mean, guys back from last year?
A lot of the staff
guys,
back.
The staffs.
Yes, I am surprised, Tony. But, I think there's some validity to the fact that if you were getting really, really solid coaching there, I don't think everybody regresses. And that's basically what looked like happened, except for a couple of guys.
I'm telling you right now, this Chris Burke. You're doing squeeze play this weekend, Bri? Is that right? Is he doing the squeeze play again?
He is actually calling a series in, I think, the Texas-Oregon series.
He's the worst.
But there is squeeze play with Rooney's there, and Chris Budden will be there, and that other guy.
Well,
People were asking me because they were watching me on the TV beam if I was shaving earlier. What's this sound like to you? Laura texted me. She said, "I wish you wouldn't do that on camera." I said, "I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me.
I didn't hear anything, Tony, and I don't have a visual of you.
I'm going to be me. I gotta be me. I gotta be me." I don't use Bic razors. No way, man. I use those expensive razors because when you're shaving your head, guys will tell you this, man, you'll nick your head all up. Speaking of which, Bino, it's a shame. What's the score in the West Virginia game? They're underway with Cal Poly.
It's 3-0 West Virginia. They had a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first. We're in the top of the third, still 3-0 Mountaineers.
Bino, do you find that Cal Poly, and have you seen the gorilla suit yet as they flash the sands? Because he's supposed to go up there in the gorilla suit.
I have not seen the gorilla suit yet, Tony. And if they weren't playing WVU, I would be pulling for the Mustangs because they have a Colts horseshoe on their sleeve.
See, that's kind of what it's all about. Brian, do you believe that if Poly showed up in the gorilla suit that he wore to that Notre Dame playoff game, do you believe he would be celebrated?
Yeah, and he would actually make it to the celebration because there's no ice to slip and fall on.
That's a cheap shot.
He would. I'd say Poly might not be the only one at a WVU game in a gorilla suit. I'm not sure of that, and at least 6 people would challenge him to a fight to say
Pat
that they
McAfee
could whip a gorilla.
Pat McAfee would love it.
He should have showed up for McAfee, but he did. He did. There is a video out there of him somewhere with one of those Real Housewives women, and he's like got her on his shoulders and he's dancing. Was that the Notre Dame playoff game? Where did Notre Dame play, Bino?
No, that was Indiana, Miami.
Oh, he went to the championship game?
Yeah.
That Teresa lady, he was like parading her around with his gorilla suit on in like 1,000,000-degree weather.
Yeah.
And his guys, you know.
He's worldwide.
He got a little screw loose.
You think?
By the way, it's a lot of fun. It really is. Bino, we need to go to wrestling night Saturday night over at the Smokies game. It's going to be wrestling night over there.
Wow.
With fireworks, wrestling and fireworks. Poly ought to wear his Poly suit to that. He ought to debut that night in the ring. Just go out there in the ring and do his thing.
Then he could come full circle from like slipping on ice to catching on fire.
What have you guys made of today's show, Beanstar? Thoughts on it?
Oh, I mean, 2 excellent guests. I appreciate Ben taking the time to join us. I really love his work, and nobody stays on top of Tennessee baseball any better than him.
I think it's interesting. It's going to be really interesting to watch them put this thing together. In my mind, Josh Elander had no choice, just like Tennessee football has no choice this defensive end, Bino. Sometimes you just get to a spot where you just have no choice.
Yeah, there's one decision to be made, and it needs to be made. Just from early results, I think the offseason so far has been very good. Of course, it'll all be determined by how they do in the portal, but they made a decision that had to be made, and they made it quickly. And they seem to be retaining all of the key pieces to their roster whose choices were either to be at Tennessee or going to the transfer portal.
And by the way, when I say pitching stiff earlier, I didn't mean it. I mean, I kind of meant it, but I do think these kids, look, when you're not getting taught, and you're not getting better, and the whole staff doesn't get better, you're not being taught. and you're not being coached. So I would like to see what these guys can do under the tutelage of somebody that can reach them. I think that's a fair thing to say out loud. Hello and welcome in. You are our first caller on the show. You're on the air.
How are my friends compatriots doing today?
Hey, W. Lynn. Great Friday to you.
I hope Kirby Cannell remains on the staff. He's my favorite man on the staff right now.
Yeah, I don't
Kirby
know.
Cannell.
I didn't ask about that today because again, he was another inherited guy that I would think if they were going to remove him, they would have removed him yesterday.
Well, isn't he
so.
Isn't he kind of the media relations, public relations guy for him now?
No, he's internal. He's helping as a coach.
He was running out to the bullpen all the time this year when it was time to fire the bullpen.
Yeah, he's helping with the pitching staff. He was serving under Reynolds and kind of in an apprentice role almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony, for myself, Bino, and the late great Paisan, I would like to share why that Texas loss was so painful and why we have to beat them this year.
Okay, yeah. Scott, tell us why, through Bino's eyes, why that was so painful.
Well, Bino and I, we both started following.
And Paisan.
We started following football in 65. Up until that Texas game, 43 games in our young fandom, we'd given up 30 points only once. And that was Dewey Warren's finest hour when we beat UCLA 37-34.
In the Rose Bonnet Bowl that'll never be forgotten by the living fan with Gary Beeben at quarterback.
Right. And when Texas beat us 36-13, it's hard for the younger fans to know this.
Hard for
Bino,
them.
I think.
Bino, you need to comport this to the younger fans. Go ahead, W. Lynn. I'm sorry.
36-13 for a Tennessee fan who lived and died with defense. That would be today like getting beat about 56-10. Would you agree with that, Bino?
Yes, that was that was a thorough beating and a shock to watch.
Yeah. And Tony, in the first 10 years, Bino, myself, and
Paisan, the three of you.
Yeah. 65-74. We only had 7 games where we gave up 30 or more points.
All right, Jeff Harrison's asking,
years,
when did we play them? Jeff Harrison's a young man. He's under wings right now. When did we play them? He wants to know.
We played Texas at the end of the 68 season. We finished 8-1-1. And we played them January 1st, Cotton Bowl of 1969, because the Southwest Conference champ, Texas, the champ always went to the Cotton Bowl. And they forced us to wear white, which I'd never seen a white jersey. I don't think Bino had either.
The big white.
It looked worse than those Halloween uniforms Kiffin broke out.
The big white.
Right, Bino, it didn't look right, did it?
Yeah, that was a shock to the system as well, not to be wearing orange.
W. Lynn, do you have a remnant from that game? Do you have anything like a ticket stub, a program a fan wants to know? Yeah, here on the chat.
No, I didn't go to that game.
You did not
I just
go?
remember that's the first time we saw the wishbone and nobody knew what it was, and we never stopped it, ever.
I remember the first time I saw the wishbone being, I was like 11 years old. We were at a barbecue, and I ended up with the short side of it. And somebody tried to convince me that was bad luck when you end up with the short side of the wishbone.
It is.
Yeah, that was.
Is that true?
Well, it is bad luck.
Yeah.
Is that true? Really?
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
How could I be here 32 years later if it was bad luck?
I don't know,
It was
Tony,
bad luck for the rest of us.
Interesting.
But let me give you another stat to explain the route of Texas and how bad it was.
All right.
From the time General Neyland took over in 1926 until 1964, 38 seasons, we only gave up 30 or more points 7 times.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. 387 games by my count. We gave up more than 30 7 times. And then Bino and I, our first 10 years, along with Paisan, we only saw it 7 times.
Bino, Paisan, and W. Lynn only saw it how many times?
7 and 10. And
7 and 10.
That's why that Texas game, on my personal list, that's a must-win game. I know we're going to be underdogs, but I've been waiting to get revenge on them ever since.
You know, Alan Ward just solved a mystery for me, W. Lynn, while you were imparting your history lesson. He at WeShipFloors.com. Bino, check this out. Alan said, Tony, if you could just go back to your childhood and that barbecue. I want to say that was when we were celebrating the bicentennial. It was July of 76, I want to say. First time I ever saw a wishbone.
Yeah.
We split it, you know, and my cousin got the long side. I got the short side. He said, Tony, perhaps if you'd have won, you would have, instead of being bald like you are right now, if you'd have gotten the bigger half, you might have an afro, like a young Bino. Bino, did you or did you not have an afro when you were a kid?
I did, Tony.
Back to when all these numbers were being compiled, did you comb your hair with a pick, Bino?
I did have a pick.
See?
I can't believe that. But, Tony, I will say this. One of your early TV shows, I think Jeff Francis might have been on.
All right, the great Jeff Francis. That was called what do we call that? Yeah, Sports in the Round. Over at Channel 2, the great Charles Frazier produced it.
Some of my friends thought when you had hair that you looked like Vinny Testaverde.
No question. We went down the great Bubs Dupourquet and Paul Gilbert and myself. After the Georgia game, we drove all night to get to the Big Sombrero. The Eagles in 1988. You can look it up, kids. This is not a lie. It was, and we had all cash in our pockets. I was funding it. I was an Eagles super fan at the time. I used to wear a throwback Randall Cunningham jersey. I said, if you guys will drive with me, we don't have school on Monday. I already had it all mapped out. We had just lost. They were pissed. They weren't going to sleep anyway. We drove all night to go to Tampa the next day. We parked out near the stadium because I told the guy I'm Vinny Testaverde's brother, and he believed me. And
you got to be kidding.
No, I am 100%
Beautiful.
Serious. I played
That's
the
a
Vinny
great
Testaverde
story.
card. I played the Vinny Testaverde card. So, boom.
Back
there you
then,
go.
you didn't have Google to check if you
had-
even had a brother.
No, they had nothing to check. And the guy said, one guy said, we really hope your brother, we hope it clicks for him soon, basically, is what one guy said to me. Because he wasn't playing well. The Eagles won like 42-14 that day. We had more fun in there. Oh, my gosh, man. We went to the the beach somewhere on the causeway, Bino, after it was over. Did you ever go to the old Sombrero, Bino? The Yankees training site was near there.
I saw the stadium, Tony, but I've never been in it.
So afterwards, we went to I still have photos of this. Maybe one day we'll do a show and tell on the air. We'll do a slideshow. But there was a young, like Haitian kid who had a $sign. What do you call that? The way they do it, designed in the back of their head, Bino. Somebody had done with the barber, how they do that with the hair. He had a $sign etched in the back of his head. That's one thing that happened. And then we came up on a public shower that said Sons of Hilter on it with a swastika. Not Hitler, but Hilter. We took a photo with that, too. So those are two things that stand out. And then the Tampa Bay itself, we couldn't afford, we stayed at a Motel 6, W. Lynn. We had the Dine and Dash on the way back. So there you go.
Where did you go to a public shower at?
Public shower was on, back then you had them at the beaches. You had the beaches, you had the public showers right there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they don't do that
those.
anymore. They don't do that anymore, but you had a public shower back then. The world was different.
You were going to say you went in there and there was some gang member.
Oh, no. There was a kid with a $sign, like 6 years old, and They were speaking another language. And then Sons of Hilter. Pretty entertaining, W. Lynn. You got me to tell my story because I did look like Vinny Testaverde. Thank you. But it does tie back to you. That was the same era that you, Bino, and Paisan were still digesting all this stuff.
Oh yeah, we didn't like the wishbone, did we, Bino?
See? We came full circle, Bino. Bino, you like the wishbone or no?
I hate the wishbone. We haven't stopped it since January 1st, 1969. Didn't matter who was running. Army.
Exactly.
It didn't matter.
Hey, guys, what would happen to
Any
y'all's...
type of option, we never stopped.
You know what would short-circuit y'all's brains? Is if somebody got with the head coach of Texas and they came out in the wishbone first series.
I'd leave.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good for me. I might.
Oh, come on out in the wishbone. That would be so great if they harken back. And W. Lynn, thank you to past Texas lore. Just an ode to the past. Go!
They broke out the wishbone, scored on their first possession. I'd be walking toward Tyson Park before their second.
I'll tell you one thing, hey, Bino, you can laugh at this. Arch would be a hell of a wishbone quarterback with his speed and the ability to throw it out in space.
Yep.
You could do that for a series, probably against our defense. We'd be so confused. We're going to be so confused early in the season. I'm so confused. One thing I'm not confused about is that William Patterson's on the way next. I want to thank you for listening to the show today. I love you.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Bino, what'd you think of me getting W. Lynn to keep going back and going back and going back? And W. Lynn's history lessons, Bino, what'd you think of it?
You're born the washing machine, Tony. You're a straight up agitator.
What do you mean? I was having fun.
You and Paisan and you and Paisan.
Easton Hayes. Easton Hayes is being a smart ass. Brian, he says he wants to know if Georgia Tech still runs a wishbone.
Free Easton. Keep Weston in timeout, but free Easton.
Yeah, I need to pull. I've got those photos somewhere. Me and my old throwback Randall jersey. God, Randall Cunningham was just so great because he was just so, I don't know, revolutionary. They didn't let black quarterbacks play back then, and they didn't let them be black quarterbacks. And, man, he was just – remember how electric he was, Bino? It was crazy how good he was.
I do, Tony. I do. Did he wear 7?
He wore 12.
He wore 12.
He had a rubber arm.
For some reason, I was thinking he and Condridge wore the same number.
See? Condridge in today's era, they'd give him a chance to be Condridge Holloway in the NFL.
Yeah.
Back then, they turned him into a defensive back or told him you got to go Canadian football or go play baseball.
Forever and always my favorite Tennessee quarterback.
There you go. Randall Cunningham will always be my favorite Eagle quarterback. Always, 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 always. Not even close. Let's go to the phones. 865-200.
For me and W. Lynn and Paisan, anyway.
I wouldn't speak for W. Lynn on that. You might speak for Paisan, though. But W. Lynn certainly was on here speaking for you and Paisan, which I love. I love when W. Lynn does that. He just says.
One thing for sure, when he was alive, I would never have to speak for Paisan.
Go! Tony, did you pull for him when he was at Minnesota? Absolutely. I pulled for him. Are you kidding me? He's a pastor in Vegas right now, and I'm still pulling for him.
Wow.
His daughter is a world-level soccer player, and I'm still pulling for her. But
we got to go check his church out, when we're out there next time.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
Seymour Joe, how many Super Bowl wins does Randall Cunningham have? That's good, Seymour Joe. Show me back of your bubblegum card. Poster, YouTube, 10,000 posts. Boy, that's prolific. How about me ripping Seymour Joe, Bino? What do you think of that, big boy?
Yeah, hey. they come after your man. They get the horns.
Stand by your man. Who did Stand By Your Man, Bino?
That was Tammy Wynette.
Boom. Boom. Bino, were you a Tanya Tucker fan? Yes or no?
No.
Not really?
No. And I hope Peggy's not listening, but no.
George and Tammy were a thing, right?
George and Tammy were a thing, yes.
Yeah. I'm working up. Listen how pretty this is. This is the song James Taylor wrote for. Is my pick in here? I guess my pick's in here. Yeah, hang on. So I'm working this up. I think we ought to sing this one. Let's see here. Get my pick out. You ever heard the tune Bartender's Blues that George sung? You heard it, Bino? It goes, now I'm just a bartender. Now don't like my work, but don't mind the money and all. Does that not sound like a George Jones song?
It does.
James Taylor wrote that on his JT record, and Georgie killed that. James did it in B, Georgie did it in A. And I sat there the other day in the park, and I was learning it, and just kind of sitting there, kind of getting the chords under me. But I'm going to attempt to sing that live. Smoke fills the air. You just got to do it, man. Even if you can sing or not sing, but you got to sing from your belly. And my belly's getting bigger, so I think I could do it. I love that George Jones stuff. You talk about music they'll be listening to 100 years from now. That stuff. That Waylon stuff, that Waymore Blues and all those things. That real country music. Saw a video last night that popped up on my feed of Marty Stewart, Vince Gill, and John Prime doing Paradise. How Mr. Peabody's basically ripped the town down. It's about TVA, basically just ripping a small community apart. Muhlenberg County. Whew. If you haven't heard that song, I mean, that is one of the most incredible pieces of Americana, whatever you want to call that, ever written. Marty Stewart was playing mandolin, which is incredible. Vince Gill and Marty were doing the harmony vocals. They were all around one microphone, and each guy would step out and play a solo. And I was just like, shit. Vince Gill in 1982, for anybody knew who he was, just a kid from Oklahoma. But, man, I love. You know, the funny thing about Patsy Cline, Winchester, Virginia claims her now, like you drive by there. Home of Patsy Cline, this of Patsy Cline. I read a great biography on Patsy Cline. They hated her when she was there, you know. She was like from a redneck family from the wrong side of the tracks. She dies in the plane crash, and they start to claim her. It's interesting how life works, isn't it? When she was there, they kind of saw her as a sort of a misfit. But let's go back to the phones. You didn't tune in to listen to that. You didn't call in to listen to that. But I just love that old music. I wanted to share that song with you. That Bartender's Blues. You ever heard that, Bino? Either version, James Taylor or George's?
I'm not sure, Tony. I don't think so, but
I need four walls around me to hold my life and a honky-tonk angel to hold me tight, keep me from slipping away. Gaw! And it's got a cute, cool turnaround in it, and it's beautiful stuff, man. Let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. Bino, are you a Patsy Cline person?
Tony, I never was a big country music person, period. But for whatever reason, I certainly never was a fan of female country artists for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. Because there are obviously some very, very talented ones, including one that's queen of this area.
Brian, are you a Patsy Cline fan?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I like her. I like the Fall to Pieces and some of the other things she put out.
You guys know who wrote Crazy in 1961?
Crazy, yeah.
You know
Crazy's
who wrote
a good
it?
one.
You know who wrote it? Willie Nelson.
We should.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Is that crazy? That's crazy. Bino, did you see where Peebo Bryson passed away yesterday?
I did not.
Oh, man, what a slide.
What an incredible soul singer that guy is, Bino. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, powerful. Another one of those Southern-born soul singers. What do you think it was, Bino, about the Southern-born soul singer?
I don't know, Tony, unless it was kind of a combination of gospel and soul. And you know, there was a little bit of country in there too, you know, all blended in from the area.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Belmont Stakes, Jeff.
Belmont State. All right.
Well, should we make that our final call of the day? That's it for phone calls.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There would be nothing wrong with that.
Cattle calls.
West Virginia leading 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth with a runner at third and one out.
Bino, do you plan on watching that West Virginia game today?
I am. I'm gonna watch it here, Tony.
Are you proud of them?
I'm happy for them.
I'm really happy
for them. Happy for their fan base.
Yeah. And they need to
Rocco's
go to
will
Omaha.
be very happy if they can win another game in this one.
I don't know what the record is at Rocco's, but if they don't bring their own White Lightning, they're going to drink Rocco's under the table. I like those people, Bino, because even at that Cincinnati football game I went to, which was my one experience with them, they are unruly. If this thing was about soul, they would be in the SEC. You know what somebody texted me? They're university number 220 in America. That's why they're not. Hey, listen. You think anybody gives a shit about academics? I mean, Bino sneered and laughed at that just like I do. If the SEC thought it would give them more money, they put a damn community college in the league. Okay?
I mean,
shut the hell up about that. Shut up.
So we're going to look at them the way the rest of the world looks at us?
Yes.
Does any...
Their university number, and the guy gives me the ranking. Their university, and he's probably not going to like me saying this, but I'm going to cut a promo on. Who cares?
I think it's TV number of population.
Of course it is.
I think it's more about population than academics.
Of course it is. Number
St. Louis
222
and Missouri, St. Louis
in
and
America.
Kansas City potentially have more people to watch their team play that they don't care about. They don't care about their state school there.
Well, we just
Since when did we become Big Ten fans?
And by the way, I love those West Virginia people. They are us. We are them. We should play them. Not on a neutral field in Nashville. That's a bastardization. No. And not in West Virginia. Not in Charlotte. We should play them at home and home. That's not college football. Us playing them in Nashville is not college football. It's not. It's not. Playing a college football game in a professional stadium is just that. It's a college game in a pro stadium that feels like an exhibition game.
Tonio's boys that I worked with up at the training center up there in Beaver, West Virginia, which is real close to Beckley.
I love
that
Beaver.
Don ran up there.
Yeah.
Those boys drank something called an oddball, which was a Red Bull with liquor in it. But they were from Odd, West Virginia, and they claimed they invented the drink, and they called it an oddball.
Dave said, we are not them, Tony. Bino, how do you respond to that? We're just like them. Are you kidding?
They're a piece of Appalachia, just exactly like we are.
Of course, it's the same mountain chain. Are you kidding me? They're right outside of Pittsburgh, same mountain chain. And Dave,
I love those people. I thought they were.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell any difference from being there and being in East Tennessee.
It's 4-1 Mountaineers now. They have first one out.
Thank you, Bri. They call Pats in Philly the king of steaks, and I call Dave the king of bad takes.
Good Lord, that curveball.
Woo! Dave just said.
Barely on the side of first base.
I don't care for country music. Now, Dave, that's a shock. Because I would think you would love those Tear in the Misery and Gin, Dave. I would think you'd love stuff like that. Those Tear in the Beer tunes, those tunes about heartbreak. Dave, all you have to do is put them to like lyrics about Tennessee sports. All you got to do. Rick Barnes' Cheating Heart. Let's do Bino, give me a couple of and to the folks on YouTube, give me a couple songs that we could adapt.
One of Negadeve's greatest hits would be "It's the First Inning, but the game is over."
That's what I'm talking about.
It's 2-0 after 1 minute.
What I'm talking about.
Over.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're down 1-0.
How about Negative?
There's 19 minutes to go in the
coming
first half
with I don't like country. Dave, you don't like any of it. You don't like I hear my train a coming. It's rolling around the band. You don't like that, Dave? You don't like Ring of Fire, Dave? You don't like any of that old George Jones stuff, Dave?
You don't like Merle.
You don't like Merle Haggard, Dave? Dave, I'm starting to think you're a damn commodian, if you want my opinion. And by the way, how about the take, Bino, that we would never take, the SEC would never take West Virginia because their academics aren't good enough?
Let me tell you something. The day the SEC drops anybody due to academics, the conference is done. There wouldn't be anybody in it.
I mean, imagine texting me, emailing me that. No offense.
This ain't exactly the Ivy League.
What are we doing? I love Dave. Dave, I'm just picking at you. Dave says Dave says I can separate my sports from everything else. Dave, I hope so. Or you would be Dave, if you couldn't, you would have bungee jumped off the Gay Street Bridge a long time ago without a cord. Because you are a nut. I love you, Dave, but you're a nut job. Bino, I got an email from you.
I'm a witness. Dave can separate that. Dave can separate his.
He's a funny guy.
His competitive nature from his other nature.
We got Zach Scott said, tell your buddy in Chattanooga, Mississippi State has like a 105% acceptance rate. Hewitt Pruitt says for Dave, how about reworking I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry?
Freddie still laughs to this day that somehow Jackie Sherrill slipped in something in one of his diatribes about academics while he was at Mississippi State.
I mean, the fact, Bino, that the guy at Texas would punch down on Mississippi about their easy admissions. When's the last time he got denied a player?
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding? Who are these people kidding? Brian, you're about to see something in this West Virginia game you're going to enjoy.
Salami.
There you
Duran
go.
Salami. Opposite way, opposite to right.
How about this one, Brian? How about this one from Hoosier Vol Ryan? Tonight, the Big Orange let me down.
Yeah, that's sweet there.
I mean, Dave. I don't like country music. What's happened to this show? I don't like country music. I mean, because I strum my guitar for a second. You know, it's like, hey, I'm going to be me, man. I shaved today on the air. I'm getting ready. I'm spiffing myself up, man. I'm ready for the day. I'm ready to greet the day.
I think Cal Poly may need to make a pitching change.
Cal what? Bino, say it again. Cal
Poly. I think Cal Poly may need to make a pitching change.
They're either that or they're punting this game. They're trying to save everything for the next 2 days.
Which makes sense.
Oh, man.
They don't want to use too much of their pitching up in a game that they're not going to win, most likely.
They do have some activity out there. Somebody's coming in.
Orange Blood asked Tony, what's the best chord? Every chord's the best chord. Personally, if I'm going to get lost in music, I'm going to play like some this is just my personal taste. A lot of the 70s stuff that used a lot of jazz chords, like in popular music, and extended chords, the Steely Danish stuff. I'm going to gravitate toward that personally. Just my ear. And then I love playing chord melody solos, like jazz stuff. These jazz players are just, that's way, way out there, those people. But yeah, man, Cal Poly, that didn't last long for old Cal Poly, did it, Brian? What's the score?
8-1.
It's 8-1. West Virginia has a 3-run homer and a grand slam off the starting pitcher.
And
West Virginia's still in the game. Bases up 8-1, which I'm not a big fan of.
I'm a big fan of it. Pour it on. In that sport,
hey, you got to get as many runs.
That's
as you
exactly
can
right. I agree with Brian. I agree with Brian.
It's win or go home.
Pour
it's
it
not
on, Cowboy.
One game 63.
It's 8-1 in a baseball game, boys.
No,
not.
It's a Bino. It's
that guy rolls his ankle out there stealing the base. You'll think that's the right thing.
Bino, and it's a college baseball game, and they're
that's
never over.
Dumb as a bag of hammers.
No, it's a college.
They're
baseball.
leaving this guy out here as meat. They've already punted.
Beat him up.
You can get hurt doing a number of things.
Yeah, 8-1's not over. 8-1, Bino. I'm sorry. I agree with Brian.
Stealing a base up 8-1 is unnecessary.
Now 16-1.
Yeah, you can get hurt.
16-1. Hey, Bino, what if they bring Krenzel in the game?
Krenzel don't play for them.
Tennessee does have a reliever that transferred up there. I think he's in 13 games. He has like a 7.20 ERA.
Well, he's keeping
13 appearances.
He's keeping the tradition alive. That's for sure.
Bryson Thacker was his name, I think.
Bryson Thacker.
He was a lefty.
Bryson Thacker. I'm going to tell you something. For UCLA to lay down in their building against that team, Bino, and Matt Dixon.
They didn't even play that team. This team didn't even have to beat UCLA.
Matt Dixon said, now who beat UCLA? Who was the 4 seed, Brian? That was great.
That was St. Mary's that beat UCLA
St. Mary's. Twice.
This team didn't even have to play them.
That's like, I mean, St. Mary's beating them in baseball be like, I don't know, Pelly or Roan State. rolling into Knoxville and beating them. Seriously, what is St. Mary's beating them twice, Bino? Give me your knowledge of West Coast baseball.
No, I think that I think St. Mary's is much better than that, Tony. I think that'd be more like Middle Tennessee State coming in here and beating us twice in a regional.
By the way, Georgia Tech lost to Oklahoma up 8-2. Bino. So I'm telling you, in college baseball.
All right, guys. Yeah, go right ahead, guys.
Well, Bino.
You should be stealing bases up 8-1.
Bino,
when they got a guy in here, they're letting be sacrificed as a pitcher.
Brian,
they're not winning this game.
Brian, we love Bino, but he's allowed a bad take, right, Brian? Bino's allowed a bad take every once in a while.
You got to get as many runs as you can get in these games.
Nonsense.
Which game is Chris Burke doing?
The Texas-Oregon series. He's out there with the Ravitch, and I think Peterson are doing that. I guess that's the A team.
W. Lynn, we have a country tribute for you. Lost in the 50s Tonight by Ronnie Millsap. Because do you like how everybody gets ripped on the show?
Yeah.
I mean, we had a guy.
I do like that.
We have a guy that posts in there called Basilio's Bald Head, Basilio's Muppet, Basilio's Razor, Basilio's Alopecia. W. Lynn just got ripped. Oh, my gosh. Sasquatch 66, Titans Bill. They've got a song for him called 80s Ladies. Is 80s Ladies, Bino, is that a country song?
I don't know, Tony.
Do you think country?
Yeah, I think there is a song mentioned that talks about
80s
ladies of the 1980s, and that may be it.
I'll tell you one thing that
it's really bad. It's awful, but it exists.
I'll tell you one country song that was not done about our bullpen was that They Call Me the Fireman by George Strait. I love that old Ace and the Whole band. Bino, are you a George Strait fan, yes or no?
Yes, I like some of George Strait stuff, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh. W. Lynn's breath said, I'm starting to think W. Lynn listens to All My Exes Live in Texas, which is another great. Is that another George Strait song? I think that is.
I believe it is.
The Ace and the Whole Band. What a great name for a band. What should we call the band?
Yeah.
Say, you're George Strait, and we'll make them the Ace in the Whole Band. The whole concept of Ace in the Hole. What a great saying. Wow. Music City Sam says that Fireman was written by Tim Dillon from East Tennessee. Songwriting's where it's at, man. It's where the money is. The performers got to get on stage to earn their money night after night. Or Dean Dillon, I'm sorry. Yeah. Beanstar, Brystar, are you boys? Let's get out of here on a good note. Give me something, Brian. Brian, you did not see they flashed up there in that stupid looking, looks like a little league box that Pat Mahomes and his annoying wife are in, lording over, just like last year, showing them at that College World Series. I know Texas beat us, Bri. I'm so glad they beat that Texas Tech bunch. Why would that panel girl make that up about Karen Weekly? I can't get over that.
You talk about somebody that doesn't deserve to win in Addie, and that is that family.
And that coach of theirs.
And it makes me sick they got to play for one, in a way.
And that coach of theirs.
Totally undeserving.
And that coach of theirs.
West Virginia Stadium looks like a softball. It looks very, very small dimensional wise. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but
guys, I love that West Virginia's going to go to the and listen, I hope they win the damn thing, Bino. What a great story that would be if they got the. Are they capable with this team, Bino, or are they a runaround car?
I think I saw where they had the 5th best odds, according to that thing I had that somebody sent.
Hewitt Pruitt said that Beth Mowens was ear splitting. She was really ear splitting. I'll tell you who does a nice job is at Holly Rowe. I've come to really respect this Holly Rowe. Bino, anything you want to add? By the way, I have an assignment for you boys. Bino, are you fired up for this? Focused and prepared. Are you ready?
Yes. Yeah, I've never completed a homework assignment in my life, but I'm ready. Give it to me.
On Monday, we flirted with this the other day. We're going to letter grade from August through June Tennessee's athletic year. We're going to letter grade each team. We're going to letter grade the entire athletic program, and we're going to letter grade Danny White. Can you do that? Because now I'm being reminded here that Scoo's out for summer.
We can do it, Tony.
All right. Hoosierval said Dave will be the first caller on Monday. You don't think Nega Dave will come in there, do you? On a year where pretty much everybody went backwards?
I wouldn't want to take that report card home.
It'll look like one of my report cards in high school.
I hear you.
I didn't try in high school. Did you, Bino? Like, not at all.
No, I didn't try. I had an opportunity to go through possibly what was the best school system in the state of Tennessee at the time I was there. I was totally unmotivated. I wanted to go out and play.
Me too. I wanted to get outside and play ball with my friends. That's all I cared about. Just hanging out with people. I had zero, especially after I got out of Catholic school. Catholic school, man. Whew. Whew. Back then. Whew. Sisters.
I never got a C in gym, though.
My dad. He goes, what? He goes, Mary.
You know, you were going to school to be a gym teacher, weren't you?
He goes,
or something,
well,
a PE degree.
I wasn't going to high school to be anything, Brian.
He goes, Mary.
Going to high school to get out of it.
He goes, Mary, we raised a moron. That's what he said to my mother. Mary, we raised a moron. He got a C in gym, Mary. 6 kids, and this the youngest gets a C in gym. And he looked at me and goes, hey, genius. He goes, hey, genius. How in the hell do you get a C in gym?
Anyone that had Ronnie and Mike and then had me.
Oh, Bino's brothers were like 2 brilliant people.
There was no way they were convinced that we were from the same family. Matter of fact, one told me, there's a rotten apple in every barrel and you're in.
God!
Oh, goodness.
So great to laugh about. Yeah, I if you're listening to us and you're a young kid, take school seriously. I'm being serious now.
Yes.
Don't be like us.
Wish I had.
Yeah, I wish I had too. I've often wondered.
I did more in college, but I certainly didn't in high school.
Yeah, I've often wondered if I was just afraid of failing, what that is when you don't apply yourself, you know, Bino, because you and I have the smarts to do that, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think mine was a fear of failure. I think mine was just, I just wasn't really interested.
Yeah, I really do think that I was afraid to fail. Didn't apply myself. But anyway, we'll get all. Alan says, Tony, it was that wishbone back in 1976 that did it to you. You were on the right track till then. Then you end up in radio. You lose all your hair. Cursed for life.
Yeah, and that's what happened to W. Lynn, Paisan, and me, too.
Let's go!
In 1969.
That's a wishbone's worth of callers there, Bino.
W. Lynn, Paisan. That ought to be y'all's country song.
Yeah. After January 1st, 1969, I never wanted to have anything to do with school again.
We can get you sponsored by the ranch dressing wishbone.
Oh, my gosh, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Y'all have a great weekend.
Love you, boys. See you.
Thank you. Oh, I love this show. It's so idiotic. You got to admit it. I mean, there's nothing. Somebody told me, they said, there's nothing like your. I said, I know. I understand that. I said, no, nothing wants to be like this show. I mean, what show would like to be like this show? But one thing we are is we're just kind of real. Like yesterday, I was on here and people were trying to give me credit for the pitching. Tony, you called that. I didn't call anything. I'm not here to get, like fake applause or whatever it is. But Bino tickles me. Bino just popped me with that W. Lynn, Paisan, and me. Especially if you were listening earlier in the show. Oh, my gosh. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. Do me a favor. If you're listening to the show on podcast form, check over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe over in our YouTube channel, because I'll tell you what we're going to do in the summer. We're going to go live some and do some fireside chats. I'm going to start doing more video content, so you're going to want to subscribe to our feed over at YouTube as we grow there. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great weekend. Be blessed. Peace. All right, let's run today's show back. Texas team. That was quite comical.
Maybe for 5 seconds just to see the score, and then went on to something else.
Oh, I watched it. They got bullied. Bullet the blue sky on the big stage. But the blue sky. Pretty pumped.
Just like last year.
They got bullied.
Same thing.
All that money, all the Taylor panel, won't
Wash,
another
repeat.
money buy. God. It's pretty next level. Whoa, man. Bino, Jeff, great Friday to you.
Hi, guys. Hope everybody's well. Good to be here.
Bino, Jeff, let's start here. We were on the air yesterday when the news on Reynolds broke. And Brian said they put a wrap on him. And I thought it was I thought it was like saran wrap, Bino, but apparently it's not.
I believe that's aluminum foil, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm learning something new every day, Bino.
We should, Tony. We all should.
Question, Bino, for you. Because Throat said it. Do you feel kind of sorry for the Reynolds guy?
No, I don't think I feel sorry for him, Tony. I that's a pretty close fraternity. He's a well thought of guy. He'll surface. But I thought it was a move that had to be made. It was the right move. It was made at the right time.
Yep.
And seemingly done the right way.
Yep.
So because the pitching staff regressed with every day that went by. So I don't think there was any other choice.
He had no choice
for Josh.
Yeah, he had no choice because, and if you think about it, because one thing we like to do is peel the onion back here, and in real time we were talking about it. There's no way in the world that they made that move without telling those two frontline star stud would be tremendously valuable in the open market pitchers that, hey, this was transpiring. There's just no way, Bino, that's the case. So those kids knew they were going to do this, right? Beforehand. Those kids knew it. They had to have known it, right?
Yeah, I don't know, Tony, but I would tend to agree with you there.
Yeah.
That they told them. Now, I don't think there's any way they could tell them who the guy was going to be that they're replacing.
Yeah.
Unless they've just kept it totally under wraps. But yeah, I would guess that they told them, hey, we're going in a new direction here. And at least gave them that much information to make that, to make their decision.
I'm going out today when I sit in the park and play music. Thinking about going to the Smokies tonight with the Famiglia, but if I don't do that, I'll go sit in the park. Hey, it's an awesome day to see the Smokies all weekend. They're home. They've got incredible stuff going on all weekend. And they roll out the red carpet for you. The downtown will be popping tonight. It's really, 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 really a wonderful thing to get out and stretch your feet out and enjoy the ball game. We have to recalibrate now, Bino. Orange Throat talked about it today. We're going to talk with Hughie about this. I see where Florida's crowing about how they're doing in high school recruiting. And to the Tennessee fan, for the first time in their adult lifetime, they're going to sit this one out. I believe the Vols, I believe what the Throat wrote today is right. I believe that, and sometimes the Throat and I will disagree. For those of you that are uninitiated, our blog over at tclub.team, great way to follow the show. We have our UT Insider, Orange Throat, writes on Mondays and Fridays, and he's an insider. Trust me. When you read him down through the years, you'll know. He said there's a move afoot at the University of Tennessee where they've decided to shift their focus. And so watch for it. Wait for it. They're not going to be as immersed in high school recruiting as they've been. They're going to take a large proportion of their budget, target people in the transfer portal early in the process this time around, not like they've